8.8 Minimizing subsidence and soil volume change. Artificial fluid withdrawal, such as groundwater or fluid mining, can be minimized by restricting oil and water pumping, and injection wells, where fluid is injected as another fluid is pumped out. The injected fluid would be different from the fluid pumped out. In enhanced oil recovery fields, commonly carbon dioxide is pumped into the aquifer to flush more oil towards the production wells, as depicted in the cartoon. Subsidence due to mining can be minimized through regulation and good engineering. The picture is of President Jimmy Carter doing some mine regulating. This can and does save lives on the surface and in the subsurface. I'm just saying, I think dying in a collapsed mine might be my least ideal way to go. And the prevention of damage from thawing permafrost from those warm foundations could include not living someplace so cold, or never using your furnace, but can also include new engineering of buildings and pipelines on permafrost, such as adjustable screw jacks, as seen in the image on the left, or lattice-like foundations, as seen in the image on the right. This not only allows cold air to insulate the permafrost from a warm home, but also allows for the home to remain flat even as the permafrost shifts, changes, and thaws. Up to a point, of course. Reducing damage from deltaic subsidence can include higher levees and bigger surface water pumping systems, or perhaps a messier but more natural approach of controlled flooding to rebuild marshes and increase sediment supply. To minimize the damage from subsidence in organic and collapsible soils, manage draining by limiting irrigation and modifying the land surface to limit ponding. And finally, preventing and minimizing damage from expansive soils. This can be done through the design of subsurface drains, rain gutters, and reinforced foundations. Also, construct buildings on compacted fill that has low clay mineral content while being sure to excavate expansive soil. Also, expansive soils can be stabilized by mixing in calcium stabilizers, such as quicklime. Another method is depicted in the cartoon below. Here, a home built on soil whose volume will change is saved by installing steel columns such that the foundation is supported on bedrock or a suitable load-bearing strata. Sounds expensive, but if the other option is total destruction, it begins to sound a bit more reasonable. 8.9 Perception of and adjustment to subsidence and soil volume change. Few people are aware of subsidence and soil volume change hazard. People who live in dramatically affected areas are more aware than others. The best solution to the hazard is to avoid building in vulnerable areas through geologic and soil mapping, observing surface features such as cracks, popcorn soil texture, and frost heave features. Subsurface surveys are also extremely useful for identifying potential sinkholes. These subsurface surveys use ground-penetrating radar and also drilling boreholes to map out the subsurface. The image is of a subsurface survey using ground-penetrating radar. You can see the identified collapsed sinkhole in the picture. The kind of white triangle beneath the identified sinkhole is the collapsed feature. In conclusion, we are all likely to be affected by this natural hazard. Hopefully it won't be that expensive for us, and hopefully we now have some knowledge tools to help us avoid the worst of the consequences from the subsidence and soil volume change hazard. Come back for some more natural hazard info in the near future.